Hello Exiles, and today we're going to be going through Lailloken's software. Now, for anyone who watches my channel and has been watching me for quite some time, at the back end of last league I did a video on this software to kind of just detail all of the information and everything that you can do within the software, just because there had been a new functionality that had been added in by the creator that meant that you could now start to search the prices of Scarabs without having to manually control D-click on every single item using a price checking tool. You could literally just use the tool to do the entire tab. So to give you an example of this, you would obviously go to your stash tab and literally just press the button, and it would then go away and tell you all of the prices of all of the items. So everything there on screen is less than a chaos or 1 chaos. Then it's more than 1 chaos, between 1 and 10 chaos. Anything that's up to 30 chaos, anything that's up to half a divine, and then anything that's more than 1 divine and up to half a divine potentially. So there's some here that are like 0.6 of a divine, and then up here 0.9 of a divine. So this tool was added in last league, and obviously it's a very good tool that helps when you're trying to price your Scarabs. Now I know that this is going to have to change with the new amendments that have been made to Scarabs. Obviously Lailloken is going to be working on that, I would assume, once obviously the new format has been implemented, and obviously we won't know that until we actually get the new Scarab tab shown to us, which will probably be on day 1. So I would probably recommend or assume that Lailloken will have that updated by the end of the weekend. So surely by the time everyone gets to maps, it should be updated. However, what Lailloken has then gone and done is then gone and implemented this very sophisticated information and data into every single tab that has static boxes. So if you wanted to check on your currency stash tab on how much your currencies are worth, he's obviously then done it on here. So you can then see the mirror shards are 65 divines, mirrors are 1328 divines, fracturing orbs and the likes, and obviously other things that are obviously added into here. You can see the prices of what they look like on here. So Hinakora's locks are 162 divines, you can see there, so on and so forth. So because of this, obviously he has done this on every single tab that has static boxes. Now what I mean by that is it does have static boxes. So for example, and I'm just going to quickly stream through these. First of all, we have the currency tab, the fragments tab, which includes all tabs, the delirium tab, the fossil tab, the ultimatum tab, the essence tab, and finally the blight tab. It doesn't work in any other tabs because the items that are in those tabs will move. These have got static boxes, whereas obviously for gems, obviously your gems will move around, flasks will move around, divination cards, you can't even price check divination cards when they're in your stash. You have to actually take them out and then price check it. So you can't do it to divination cards either. But even then, that is still a massive tool to be able to help you price up stuff that's in your inventory and see whether you're sat on anything that may be worth quite a bit of money. Lailloken didn't stop there. What he's then gone and done is he's then gone and implemented a little bit of a trade market search reference thing that's in the background. So I'm going to show you what I mean here. If you press middle click on any piece of currency that is in your stash, first of all, this is saying that this scouring orb is worth 0.24 of a chaos. Now, if I right click this, it will then bring up this little table here. This is basically saying that if I wanted to sell all 727 of these scouring orbs at 0.24 rate, they would be worth 174 chaos. And if you wanted to do it into divines, that would be 1.3. Now, the important thing that Lailloken has told me here is that this detail and this information is being pulled from PoE Ninja. Now, as we know, PoE Ninja is not always the most up-to-date. If you want it to be more up-to-date, then you need to click on one of the currency orbs that you want to sell it for. So let's say I wanted to sell it for Chaos Orbs. Bearing in mind at the moment it says 174. Watch. Now it's 227. This is now more accurate. What this now does is it now goes to the trade site, it pulls all of the prices, and this will now give you that the mean and average price for scouring orbs at the moment is currently 0.313. However, you have to bear in mind all of these numbers. You may think, what the hell are all these? The numbers on the right hand side here, this column here in the middle, is the total stock value across different traders. The one on the right hand side is how much stock one person has. So that is the maximum stock that one person on the trade site currently has. So there is currently 2 traders selling 5,600 orbs, but one of them has got 4,900. So if you think about it, if you're wanting to sell your scouring orbs more expensively than him, you're not going to sell them, because people are going to buy them off him first. Does that make sense? So though this may be giving you a price of 0.33, you ideally maybe want to sell it at a lower price. So you can click which price you want to sell it for, and it will obviously then give you the total value. So if you wanted to sell it for, let's say, 0.23, you would make 173 chaos in selling that. Okay, that is the first thing that he has done. The second thing is done, and I think this is amazing. However, with the new implementation of the new currency exchange market that is being added into the game for Settlers of Kalgur, I don't know whether people are going to use this. They may, but if you roll your mouse forward and backwards on the confirm, or when you're hovering over the confirm box, you can then scroll up and it will then put the ratio of what you're wanting to sell it for. So at the moment it's saying I can sell here 714 and I will get 170 chaos. Now if I press confirm here, it has now automatically, if you can see there, automatically put the price in here. I have not done that. The software has done that automatically for you. So this is a very neat little tool that he has added in recently, and it makes it so that you can sell stuff in bulk 10 times faster. And I think that this change is revolutionary. However, with the new change that obviously that's coming in the Settlers of Kalgur, I don't know whether many people are going to use it, and he said that he's just going to keep an eye on it and obviously keep it there in the background. Another thing that he has added in recently is he has added in a lab option. So if you wanted to go to lab and you wanted to be running and you want to see obviously what the lab is looking like today, you can obviously jump into lab. If you then press tab, it then brings through the actual map so you can see. And the good thing about it as well is it will actually track you. So if you can see here, I've got a purple icon on the door here, okay? Now obviously there is a golden key within this zone, but obviously when you run through each zone, it will then go green and it will then move and highlight as to where you have moved to, which is, I think, is a very neat, slick little tool to be able to navigate through the lab efficiently. Lailloken also asked me to mention that the tool now works with GeForce Now. So for anyone who uses GeForce Now, it is working with that software. So it'll make things a little bit smoother for you in terms of how things run for you, and it may be a little bit smoother for you. Another thing that he wanted me to mention is with the upcoming return of Recombinators, he said that he is going to be implementing into this tool over the next couple of days. So it's not in there currently. He's going to be adding in this box, which literally will provide you with the chance of success. So you put in there the mods that are on one piece of armor or one piece of equipment, and the mods that are on your second piece of equipment. You then tick the boxes of the ones that you want to keep, and it will then provide you with a % chance of that outcome. Now you're probably thinking, how the hell has he managed to do that? Well, I have had a chat with him, and he has basically said that he went to the Reddit combinator calculator that was on here. So first of all, there was a guy here called the Diabetes King who literally did an entire list of table of contents here of the complete guide to recombinators, and he wrote this entire write-up obviously in terms of how they work, what's the best way to do it, how to get the best mods, the best desired mods, and all of this information, and he wrote this very extensive guide. The next thing he said was he then used this Recombinator calculator, which looks like this, and he said he then brought this calculator across into his software. This is exactly the same. You would put in here what mod you wanted, and obviously it would then give you your percent chance. What he said he's then done is he has then ported that across into the software, and it will be live at some point in the next 10 days, he said. So you can then potentially work out your chance of success prior to recombinating any items, which I think is going to be absolutely amazing. And the last thing that I wanted to say is that there was a couple comments on my last video, the first video that I did on this software, where people were concerned that they were going to get banned. Now, when I had a conversation with Lailloken, I showed him these comments and we had a discussion on it. And he said, if you think about it, this software has been around for nearly 2.5 years, and he has never had anybody come to him and tell him that they were banned for using this. At the end of the day, it's not even a software. It is literally just a tool that you use to help you out. It doesn't perform any actions within game for you. It's not a macro. It doesn't do anything for you. All it literally does is go elsewhere externally, pulls information, and then displays that in game for you. And because of that, it is not a breach of terms of service. What he did say is that if it was a breach of terms of service and he knew people were going to get banned for using it, then he would have stopped using or stopped providing support for the service years ago. But he hasn't. He is not stupid. He knows that this tool is not going to get banned. And he said that if the chances are there, it is very, 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 very slim. Okay? Just because of the fact that it doesn't do anything in game. Now, if you was to obviously implement a bot into your game that was then going to start doing auto trading for you and start doing flipping currencies, and it was performing macros and performing actions and all that type of stuff, then yes, you will get banned, because that is against terms of service. Using one tiny little piece of auto hotkey, which just literally provides you with some information and provides you with pricing information and a little bit of helpful tips for lab, maybe for timeless duels, how to get through the acts quicker. There's no real break of terms of service, so there is nothing for you to worry about in terms of getting banned. Other than that, guys, that is basically it. I will put a link to the original video that I did on the software in the description, and I will put a link to the download for this software, and I will be using this next league because it is an amazing little tool. Thank you for watching, guys. I'll be doing my league starter video next week, so keep an eye out for that. I am currently working on it, so when that drops, keep an eye out for it, because it is probably going to be a big video. Other than that, guys, stay sane.